recognize the member from Tecumseh.
Thank you, Speaker. I move second reading of Bill 26, an act to amend the Provincial Parks and Conservation Reserves Act 2006.
Mr. Dowie has moved second reading of Bill 26, an act to amend the Provincial Parks and Conservation Reserves Act 2006. Pursuant to Standing Order 100, the member has 12 minutes for their presentation.
Thank you very much, Speaker. It is truly an honor to rise. I believe this is the first time I've been able to debate since the last election in the session. So grateful for the opportunity to rise in support of Bill 26, the Provincial Parks and Conservation Reserves Amendment Act of 2025. Speaker, what I love about this legislation, it represents an important step forward in how Ontarians can connect with nature, especially in and around our growing urban centres. Because for decades, Ontario's provincial parks have offered places of rest, reflection, and truly renewal. And they are part of who we are. As our communities grow, the way people experience nature must also evolve. And it's been said that in the United States, national parks are America's best idea, and obviously providing places for Ontarians is an idea certainly worth supporting on our own right, and Bill 26 responds to that need. In my own community, we're proud to be home to the proposed Ojibwe National Urban Park, and this park will bring together more than 900 hectares of ecologically significant land, including the Ojibwe Provincial Nature Reserve, the Ojibwe Prairie Provincial Nature Reserve, which has been in existence since the 1970s. It is truly one of the last remaining tallgrass prairies in Canada. It's a landscape rich with biodiversity and cultural meaning. And this initiative connects us as Windsorites to nature. It preserves endangered species of all kinds and honors Indigenous stewardship. And it shows truly what's possible when local advocacy, federal and provincial cooperation, and Indigenous leadership come together for a shared purpose: protecting our natural heritage while expanding access for everyone. And when I walk those trails, I see families, I see bird watchers. At one point in the middle of the winter along the municipal drain, I saw someone who had music playing and someone who's meditating. And I've seen students exploring and getting to see the turtles, sometimes the bugs, the frogs, and just finding those wonders of life that you can only find in the natural environment. And they're truly learning about conservation, about coexistence, and about belonging. And that's the spirit behind Bill 26. So this bill introduces two new classes of provincial parks: the urban class parks and the adventure class parks. These reflect the many ways that Ontarians truly connect with the outdoors, some through quiet reflection and others through active recreation. Well, let's begin with the urban class parks. They bring nature closer to where people live and work. And think of that waterfall that you may see around the corner in some of our great cities. Hamilton is one that I can think of, where you have no idea what that path will bring in store. And makes green space available and accessible to families who might have to travel long distances and may not have the time really to accommodate for it because of life's hustle and bustle. The Uxbridge Urban Provincial Park, for example, is one that the Government of Ontario has just enacted recently. It spans more than 530 hectares on the Oak Ridges Moraine, and it offers trails for hiking, cycling, and exploration while protecting local ecosystems. And as the mayor of Uxbridge, the great Worship Dave Barton, said, urban parks can and should be vibrant, welcoming spaces that complement the natural landscape while attracting people in to walk, bike, ski, explore, and connect with each other and the land. And Mayor Barton's vision captures exactly what urban parks are meant to achieve. Places that are not fenced off from our lives, but are woven into our communities. And we have already seen this sort of approach succeed. Rouge National Urban Park, Canada's first national urban park, spans over 79 square kilometres of forests, wetlands, and farmland. And it's accessible by public transit and used by schools as a living classroom. In our system, we have Bronte Creek Provincial Park, which has been around for just over 4 decades. And it's located in Oakville, and it's another model with its historic Spruce Lane farmhouse, children's play barn, and a trail network that blends heritage, recreation, and nature. So this is not necessarily a natural landscape for its entire footprint. There's certainly nature there. But there's a whole lot more about how we see ourselves and the recreational opportunities on site at that particular park. And these examples really remind us that protecting nature doesn't mean keeping people out. It means inviting them in responsibly. And so the second innovation that's being proposed through Bill 26 is the Adventure Class Park and sports activities like rock climbing, mountain biking, kayaking, snowmobiling. You know, motorized vehicles have a place in the recreation system, but they need to be managed carefully to preserve natural integrity. And there's nothing better than learning how to be a steward. And you know what? Those that spend a lot of time in the outdoors are our best stewards. They're our best advocates for protecting the biodiversity that we have. And so through adventure, Mr. Speaker, it's another way that people build a connection with the land. Because when people play in nature, they come to care for it. The Association of Consulting Engineering Companies of Ontario put it well for me in a letter of support. It says, your bill would help provide access to conservation areas for those that live in dense urban settings. Making both the adventure and urban class parks a reality will help Ontario to become an even better place to work, live, and play. And one of the greatest organizations that we have in the province of Ontario, the Ontario Conservation Accelerator, added, the need for equitable and widespread access to nature has never been more urgent. This bill represents an exciting opportunity for the Government of Ontario to demonstrate its leadership in conservation. And they all remind us that partnerships between governments, conservation groups, and Indigenous communities can amplify impact. And so by working together, we can make sure these new parks are inclusive, sustainable, and accessible for all. Peter Kendall of the Shad Foundation shared this observation. Mr. Kendall says, I have been amazed by the incredible trail systems, adventure playgrounds, outdoor art installations, bike parks. Every park was packed with people of all ages, no matter the weather. And so this bill represents an exciting opportunity for Ontario to build on its leadership in park development. And he also reminded us that public investments can be matched by private and community partners, as we have seen in Uxbridge. And that means every provincial dollar can go further, create more trails, better facilities, and truly stronger communities. And Bill 26 also gives Ontario the ability to create new park classes through regulation. And this ensures flexibility as public needs change, because our understanding of conservation must keep pace with the challenges that we have, like climate change, urban growth, and really shifting recreational patterns. I mean, who saw pickleball 6-7 years ago, right? So this adaptability ensures that our parks remain resilient, responsive, and relevant for decades to come. And closer to home, we have the Ojibwe National Urban Park. It reminds us what this bill is truly about. It's a connection between people, land, between the past and the future, between Indigenous knowledge and modern stewardship. And when students walk those trails, they learn more than just the ecology of the land. They learn responsibility. And when Indigenous elders share teachings on that land, they pass on wisdom about respect and reciprocity. And that is reconciliation in action. And that's what Bill 26 seeks to foster access to across Ontario. So Bill 26 is truly more than a policy amendment. It's a vision for how Ontarians will experience nature in the 21st century. It says that access to green space is not a privilege, it is a right and a shared responsibility. By supporting this bill, we ensure that every Ontarian, no matter where they live, can experience the wonder of nature, but they can also experience the wonder of exhilaration and adventure. That you can be supportive of the outdoors and really have fun while you're doing it. And there is a place for recreation in our provincial park system. So we ensure that our park system remains inclusive, innovative, and strong. And we affirm that Ontario will continue to lead the country in conservation and in community well-being. So let us embrace this opportunity, Speaker, to build a park system that celebrates both serenity and adventure, both heritage and hope, both protection and participation. Parks are a place for people, and a place for people to appreciate the nature that we have. And so I urge all members to support Bill 26, the Provincial Parks and Conservation Reserves Amendment Act 2025. And thank you very much, Speaker. It's a privilege to speak in front of you today.